Welcome in, everybody. I'm Joey, and we're going to be doing some single player. I haven't done any of the single player races on the channel, nothing campaign wise. I have done some rivals, but nothing from the single player campaign. So I thought, let's switch it up, and I'll cherry pick some of the fun races from single player on here that we can run for today's episode. Now, here's some of the assists I'll be running. Pretty much everything off, but with manual, with clutch. And then we'll go over and we'll check out the drive retard difficulty, and that's going to be on unbeatable. So I will notice that limit aggression thing, and I think I turned that off here. Nope, I guess I leave it on, or do I turn it off? I'm faking myself out right here. I turn it off. Okay, I do. I turn it off. I wasn't really sure what that was. I haven't really even played around with these settings, to be honest. So we'll see if not limiting their aggression makes them any more, aggressive. Maybe they want to try to take me out. Hopefully it doesn't get to the point of the online races, but we'll see how it goes. Race number 1 here is going to be the passing challenge in the 918 Spider, and we're going to be going up against a bunch of little Herbies. And Lindsay Lohan is not going to be very happy with me on this one. I'm going to murder a bunch of VW bugs. So the goal of this race is to pass 54 of these VWs in 2 laps. These things are obviously very slow and they're scattered throughout the entire track. So we'll see how we do after lap 1. Hopefully I've gotten at least to like 27, I think. What, 27 plus 27 is 50. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is fucking 27 plus 27? Is that 52? No, that's 54. It is 54. All right, so we want to be at 27. It is, right? I think it is. All right, so we want to be at 27 by the end of lap 1 in order to be half of the way to the 54. So hopefully we get there. We're off to a pretty good start. We've already got 13, and we're only through about 4 or 5 corners now. We've got a rusty old bug right there that we're just passing, and now we're kind of coming into a bit of a gap here. Quickly closing that, though, and moving that number up to 16 and then 17 real quickly. Coming around this long bend here at Alps. Interestingly, Alps isn't actually confirmed for the new Forza yet. That's kind of crazy to me that we haven't confirmed this one. It's kind of a staple, in my opinion. It's kind of a staple of the Forza series at this point. It's been in a bunch of them, and I love it. I know that's kind of I wouldn't call it a hot take. I think a lot of people like it, but it's split pretty well, even 50-50. People like it, people don't. As I absolutely slam into that VW, coming through the S's there. I think on lap 2, that might be a little bit of a pain point. Coming through the S's, if there is a slow car right in the middle there, it's going to be really hard to avoid it as we're coming through. But finishing off lap 1 now, we nearly got up to 30 at the end of the lap. So I'd say we're on pretty good pace. I do go out pretty wide there and extend that line way past the boundaries of the track. But I think we've got a bit of a buffer now, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm just sitting here thinking this is exactly what, oh my god, as I just crush Irby into the wall. This is ruthless. I mean, they're AI, so I don't really care. Online, I would have been a little more careful, but within single player, I don't really care that much. But what I was saying was, I'm literally thinking this is what day 1 on Forza Motorsport 2023, the new one's going to look like. I don't really know what to call it. Like, I want to call it Forza Motorsport just as is, but I feel like people might not really understand which one I'm talking about, so I kind of I've been calling it Forza Motorsport 2023. But yeah, I mean, day 1, this game is just going to be a bunch of noobs driving at 20 miles an hour on a track, causing everyone going like race speed to crash into them causing carnage. It's just going to be a mess. It's going to be an absolute mess. And I would imagine they're going to be in meme cars like these and probably actually trying to hit people. But anyways, we're about 3/4 of the way through lap 2 now. We're at 51, 52 now, 53 coming through the S's. Do I see another bug up there? I do see one more. That's going to be the tie for us right here. I slam into the back of him, though. That's 55 right up ahead of us. The rusty one that slammed into us through the S's before I recover the car pretty nicely. We're around that number 55 pretty easily, and we can pick up a few more here. So that's 56, 57, and 58 right at the end, sliding it across the finish line. That's going to be a total of 58. We beat that unbeatable mark of 54 by 4 points. Pretty solid there. I don't really know what is good and what's bad. I assume we're on unbeatable and we got 58, so I'm going to say that was a pretty solid finish. But we move on to high-speed chase in the Audi RS. So this bad boy is a GT3, and it is ridiculous. Just confirming I am on unbeatable still, and we get started. This is basically a multi-class race. So we're going to let all the other cars go off first, and we'll start later than everyone and try to play a little game of catch up. All right, and the first car is off. We got a timer at about 15 seconds now. We're going to speed through that just a tiny bit, about 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, and we're off in the Audi. Oh my gosh, this thing is an absolute handling beast around Brands Hatch. I'm really excited to bring this thing around here. It's so much fun. These cars were built for handling, and it's really going to showcase it here. So around turn 1, absolutely beautifully. No problems there. Up into turn 2, around the hairpin here, down into first gear, quickly up into second, up into third, and then we'll come back down into second for the 90-degree left-hander here. And we're down the straight, and I have eyes on that first Audi. I believe that was an Audi R8 up there. Coming around turn 4 here, we're going to slide it quite a bit. We're going to put on a drifting show. Coming down the next straight here, I've got 2 cars in my sights now. That silver Audi R8 pulling that red Audi into its grasp now. Hopefully we can start reeling them in. We're coming up on the back half of the track now, and we are. I can see all 4 or 5 cars. I think it's 5 cars. Yep, we're in 6th place. 5 cars ahead. All 5 of them right here now. We're past the Audi. We've got a red wagon. We're past one. We got a blue wagon in front of that one. We're past them up into 3rd place. We've got a TT that we're going to go ahead and look around the outside. Not quite going to work out. Put on the brakes. Cut up the inside. We're around the yellow SUV, whatever that one is. And that's 1st place. Nice and easy. They had me worried there. Keeping it close. Waiting till the final straight, the last corner, to get it done. But I always knew this Audi had it. It's so good. So good in the corners. Sliding it. That's another 1st place. On unbeatable in single player. Let's move on to the next one. Next up, we've got some factory spec racing in the Porsche 911 GT1. That means that everyone on the grid is going to be in the same car. So all the AI, same car, including me, and it's going to be a mess. Just take a look at this grid in a second. We're loading in, and look at that disaster. This is a mess. You know it is. There are hairpin turns here at Silverstone, and all the AI like to brake as hard as they possibly can for all those turns. So you know it's going to be a disaster, but I quickly found out it was going to be a little too easy from the middle of the pack to go ahead and get up into 1st place. So I ended up quitting out of that race, going back to the main menu and checking the assist. Those checked out. Those were all fine and normal. Went to the drive guitar difficulty. Everything was on unbeatable, but the limit aggression was back to on, so I switched that back to off. Not sure how that changed, and we'll see if that does anything. Hopefully it will at least make the AI a little bit better. But we're also going to add a little bit of an added challenge, and we're going to start from the back. So we're technically starting from the middle of the pack, but I'll pull off to the right side here, and we'll let everyone right on by. So everyone grabbing a free position there, and now we kick off the race. Coming into turn 1, it looks like all the AI got through there okay. We've already got a run on about 100 of them, so grabbing 3 positions, nice and easy there. And here's the mess. Here's where everyone just decides it's a fucking parking lot, and we're just gonna stop in the middle of the fucking track. Or what do you guys call them over in the UK? I think you call them car parks. Car parks. I think so. It doesn't matter what you call them. The AI are fucking dumb, and that's never gonna change. As much as I want to say I have high hopes for the AI in the next one, I think I was talking with someone in the comments of one of the previous videos. We've got some high hopes for him, but I don't know. Machine learning can't really fix this crap. It really can't. I mean, look at this. We're halfway through lap 1, or not even halfway actually, or probably maybe about a quarter of the way, and I had already gained like 12 positions there from 24th up into 12th. But skipping towards the end of lap 2 here, there are some pretty just normal passes there, just the AI braking way too hard for turns and just kind of going right by them all. And this was the battle for second and first place here on the beginning of lap 3. Back up into the back of first place there, giving him a nice little punt through turn 1, and then I'm going to try a nice and sexy move around the outside into the hairpin turn, down into second gear, around there, grabbing first place right from him. And I was going to keep that for the rest of the race. I do get a little squirrely here, spinning some tires in the grass, absolutely showing what farming simulator is all about there. And yeah, that was the end of the race. Grabbing first place, sliding it again. So pretty good track record here for these single player races on Unbeatable. Very surprising for me. Very, very surprising. We all know my skill at this point, and it is not up to scratch, but I guess today it was just fine. And so we move from one disaster to another. This one is the Ford Fiesta ST Autocross race. If you've done this one, you know the pain we're all about to be in. The whole point of this race is to get through all the traffic cones around Lime Rock under the allotted amount of time. On Unbeatable, the time is 1 minute 45 seconds, and if you hit one of the cones, that automatically adds 5 seconds. On this first lap, my goal was to go kind of slow, just get a lay of the land, get kind of like an understanding of the racing lines I'm going to need to take, because it's not going to be the normal racing lines. You can see coming around that long first corner, the cones were set up on the outside of the track where the normal racing line would have been on the inside. Here you can kind of see the same thing, where I would have kind of cut in to take that apex. The cones were kind of pushing us out wide, and you just saw there I did hit one of the cones, and you saw a little orange bar flash up that said plus 5 seconds. That added plus 5 seconds onto the race time up in the top right, and you'll also see the target time up there. But I'm just going to finish this one out just to kind of get an understanding of, if I do hit one cone, is it possible to still finish under that 1 minute 45 second? So I'm just going to run this one out and see what happens. Coming into this hairpin here, what the fuckers over at turn 10 have decided to do is make about 10 different chicanes with these damn cones that we have to navigate out of that one little hairpin. That one is going to be tough. And then coming down the hill, this was my kryptonite. Coming down the hill, you need to kind of brake almost down into first gear and take a right to get onto the cones on the right side, the inside of the track. Then you're released onto the straight to basically do one big body roll test, and the Fiesta does pretty well through there. Across the line, that's going to be a 151.6, so the added 5 seconds is going to put us well over the mark of 145, and then everything went downhill from there. I was feeling pretty good. I only needed to make up about 1 second off that if I didn't hit any cones. And then I just decided to go on an absolute cone murdering spree. I was getting really, really frustrated. I couldn't get a clean lap in without hitting any cones. And yeah, it was another total disaster. Many cone lives were lost during the making of this video. So I just want to throw it out there. I'm not on Twitter, but if any of you guys are and you want to get something trending, hashtag #StopConeHate. Show your support for the cones that lost their lives in this videos. You know, they're really the reason that these tracks are drivable, and yeah, we should show support to them, I guess, for that reason. Eventually, though, I say eventually, and when I say eventually, I mean about an hour and a half later. I checked the recording, and yeah, it was an hour and a half later that I finally put a clean lap in. Which is totally ridiculous when I think about it, because I know from that first lap I did that I had a buffer if I just didn't hit any cones. I could have taken it nice and easy around the track, gotten to the end just fine, and within that 145 minute mark, or 1 minute 45 second mark. Instead, what I did was I tried to push so hard through every single cone and every single corner that I ended up messing up multiple times on each lap and just having to restart and restart and restart, and eventually just got to the point where I needed to take a break, go grab a beer, chill out for a second, come back and try it again. And eventually my mind did reset and I was like, Joey, just fucking figure it out. You don't have to go so hard. Just take it nice and easy and drive the car as it was meant to be driven. Don't try to overdrive it. And honestly, I'm doing that a ton online too. When I'm in some of my favorite cars, I feel really comfortable in it and I try to push them to the edge, and I always, or not always, but oftentimes I'm pushing it too far, and that's when I end up getting into crashes with other players or going off the track, missing my braking points and things like that. So it's kind of nice every once in a while to just take a break, reset the mind, not try to overdrive the car, and just hop back in and put in a solid lap. And that's exactly what I did here. And I say that I nearly hit that cone on the inside there, that last one on the inside. I know you saw it, damn near hit it. I probably would have thrown the Xbox out the window had I hit it. Luckily I didn't, and I saved $300 on a new Xbox Series S, although they do have the new black ones, which are $50 more for whatever reason. But anyways, guys, that is the video. Hope you enjoyed some of the single player content, switched it up a little bit from the multiplayer stuff I've been doing lately. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of it, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, everybody.